Yeah, perhaps. Maybe not.
Depends on how you look at it.
Spirits of Folder?
Y'all should be able to see me in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, red, orange, and yellow guy. This is not a phone app you guys can go home and download, by the way. This is a FLIR thermal imaging camera. So this is an attachment firemen would use to put on their phone so they can go help save people. This is the real deal. So you are correct. It is cold spots. Are there heat anomalies? Yes. Less likely to be something, and less likely to be found, I guess is the right term. So we are going to be looking for cold spots. So for those of you that can see me in there, which is everybody, being the red, orange, and yellow guy, sorry fellas, but that means I'm the hottest thing inside the frame right now. So yeah, I got jokes all night long. That's how this works. You're going to have a good time. So we're looking for those cold spots that are going to be blue and black. So that's part of the reason why I make that joke, is so you guys remember what the heck you're looking for when you guys go through your video. Cool thing for you guys is I do have this set up to where there is a blue dot bouncing around the screen. That blue dot is giving us the coldest spot in the frame at that moment. It's going to land on windshields, pieces of glass from buildings, so forth and so on. Beer cans on the ground. So I'm looking for 15 plus degree temperature drops. We are 60 degrees ambient out here for us tonight. I'm going to be looking for 45 degrees and colder. Those blue and black spots, when I say I'm looking for them to take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms, and legs that are blue or black. So again, we should be red, orange, and yellow because we are the living, correct? So that's what we've caught with this guy in the past. That's hopefully what we're going to capture again tonight. So does this capture something every single night? Not necessarily, but if we're not recording in that space, we're not going to find it. So I will tell you that I get probably about a dozen to 15 pieces per year on this guy that I will label and put my stamp on it that it was definitely paranormal. So take that for what it's worth. So with this, congrats, you made it. So this place used to be something relevant to the history of Charleston. That's why we're here. Communication devices, this is where I started recording information on the purpose. So I will not tell you everything I know about the place, and I will not give you questions here like what color is George Washington's white horse. Kind of keep that in mind like what we did with the Big Red Barn. Right? So what is this place? This used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. Their mansion sat in the front of the space facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with 5 Church Restaurant and all the way across, and we are standing in the servant and slave quarters for the home. Yeah, I know it's confusing when you first walk in, like what the hell are we doing here, but the place is very active. One of the most active spaces I've ever actually investigated in my entire life. So, and that's not just the route of my tour. Back to Eliza and Charles. Who the hell were these people? They had a son named Charles, they had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Chucks, in case you weren't keeping track. That's why we look for those secondary clues, everybody. In the event that somebody hears the name Charles, somebody else is going to give me a clue as to which one is actually. That's the hope. Now, the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution, but I hate politics more than all of you. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about Eliza instead. If I do not give them that recognition, by the way, we will get nasty messages on our spirit boxes. Just so you know, I've seen it dozens of times. I'm here for 4 years and make sure I give them the recognition. Back to Eliza. She marries Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say it that way because if you're going to ask her how old she was when she got married, do not expect numbers like 12 and 14 from the colonial days that she came from. Think of today's standards, because her husband was over double her age when they got married. It's a creepy age gap then, it's a creepy age gap now. Now, she marries him because her father is over in England and he thinks he's dying. He's trying to bring all his children home one last time so he can see them before he dies. Eliza doesn't believe he's dying. So she stays put right here and gets married in 1744. You don't get married in that particular year to get a green card. We're not a country yet. So, by the way, she was correct. Her father did not die right away, and instead he starts sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts happened to be the plant seeds of indigo. That is a plant that makes blue dye. It makes our blue jeans blue. That's what we use for today. Some of you have it on right now, just so you know. When she got her seeds, she didn't know what to do with them. She had to learn from her servants and slaves how to keep it cultivated. It's obviously not, always hot here. Some of you are wearing sweatshirts and coats, for God's sake. It's not always warm here. Then she had to learn how to make the dye from them. And when she did that, she moved it to a cash crop, got a hold of Dad, and said, our rice plantation prices are going downhill. We're going to make a killing with this indigo. And we now have an international businesswoman during colonial times. So that is the boring business stuff of Eliza. You kind of need to know like a basis of her. Let's get into the weird stuff, because that's why you guys are all here. What I will point out is that this space, I do change this up every year. And again, starting tomorrow, I start investigating the new space. But this year, I was going to take out this location because I was getting very rude and kind of disrespectful people on your guys' end. Like, come on, Eliza, let's go. And then they go take a leak in the corner. So I actually gave this place a break for a few weeks and kind of looked into the new space. But I always get drawn back because it is so active. That's what I love about the place. So when we're out and about in this location, please be respectful. So that's kind of a big deal to her. I also, every night, I come through this location before I meet with y'all to let her know how many people I'm bringing and your names if I know them. So your names are already written down inside my notebook. So for those of you that are impressed with me memorizing your names, I read them and had to write them down. Because I do tell Eliza every single night. And John's laughing. Holy shit, this guy's serious. But yeah, this is what I do for a living. So kind of keep that in mind. With the communication devices, I'm going to give you guys a set of focus questions to kind of focus on. You can say things out loud. You can just focus on things. That's okay too. There's no right or wrong way to do this. But keep in mind, we have a lot of communication devices out here. In the event Katie asks something, Liz might get the answer. We never know where things are going to fall. So kind of keep that in mind. So even if you want to cherry pick off another question that I gave to somebody else, by all means do so. If you go rogue, the only thing I ask is you do not ask questions about Eliza's children. It's a sore topic, and we will get sore answers. Keep that in mind as well. I'm not looking to piss this woman off anytime soon. Spirit box of communications. So we're going to actually start with John and Linda. Your guys' devices are going to kind of work together. So here's how this is actually going to work out. Eliza, that I just told you guys about, is the second wife named Eliza, by the way. First wife also had a maiden name that started with the letter L. So John, you're going to be looking for the initials of ELP in that order. I don't want a mix-up of all of those letters, ELP in that order. You're going to be asking which Eliza we're dealing with by asking for her maiden name. So again, it has shown up on that specifically in the past multiple times, and both of them have shown up. So it just depends. Next set of spirit boxes. Where are we at? So red spirit box on Gina's end and Katie's end. So you two have the same set of questions as well. So you guys have Eliza's deck. She's very open about talking about it. So you can ask her how old she was when she got married. You can ask her how she died, where she's married, which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. Like those are the four main things that commonly give the answers to. Okay? So, yeah, so when we spread out, we're going to turn that volume up. Alright, so Liz and Ryan, you guys are going to have the same set of questions as well. So again, these kind of work in pairs based on what type of devices they are. Your guys' devices, believe it or not, work the exact same way. You're just working off of just FM. He's got both AM and FM. So it's just attempting to take out that white noise. Unless you guys can see something I can't, the mansion's not here anymore. So yeah, so ask what happened to the mansion, and then when did that happen. If we get the what, we will commonly get the 2 or 3 numbers of the date of when that actually occurred. Just keep in mind, like, you guys are going to be telling me all of the silly little things that you're hearing on the spirit box. Again, Gina, you don't know if you're asking things, and we have the number 42 that shows up, and that's relevant to somebody else, of whatever they were asking. So again, 42 is not a number that is relevant to the space. Any numbers that came out of the two of you yet? Nothing yet at all.
I mean, the highest I got was
yeah, 1.1 is natural from the earth, so, and you're going to ignore your readings, both of you, when we're on sidewalks and crosswalks, because the electrical lines for parking meters are underneath our sidewalks, so it'll make it good. All right, we are going to spread out a little bit. I'm going to keep John behind so I can show him a little bit more about that device, and I'm going to do like one round robin with everybody to kind of see what's happening, and then kind of see if I need to do a secondary one. Here we go. So yeah, definitely keep your film running, nice and slow movements. Let's spread out. John, you're going to stick with me for just a minute. Do you have any letters popping through at all?
Not now. We did before. On the other side, we actually had dim.
I'm going to turn it all the way up now. So when we're out walking on our sidewalks, like I just explained to them, the parking meter electrical line's going to make that thing go off. So underneath your red dot on the left side, there's a little dial. So I might say, John, go ahead and scale it back about a quarter turn, just so to take away some of the sensitivity of it. In here, there shouldn't be any electricity. So again, if you get the letters, we're not going to get a whole lot of interference. When you don't see anything in that bottom row, go ahead and clear it, just like I showed you. This guy should be on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Your cakes are really dark. Temperature-wise.
Oh,
Kind of cool.
oh, maybe we're specters.
It's possible. Are you a ghost?
Perhaps.
This guy over here. Why so serious, Batman?
And it's hard to concentrate because so there's a guy that comes in and says something every once in a while, but it's not clear.
So you're listening to the FM radio.
But not on like an actual station, yeah.
Alright, you can have it back. I don't want it. Yeah, I wouldn't like yours. Right. Look at these. Look at the people in their capes. If they turn around, they go black. They're not perfect. Everybody's butt's really hot.
Now you know.
I don't have anybody in my screen. Let's look at somebody in my screen. We'll get Linda. The sky has big holes in it. Believe it or not, this phone's heavy. Stand right there. All right. That weed is making a weird...
Oh,
I couldn't see... You don't know what you're looking at. see something weird?
Sure.
See the wall?
Yeah.
See the wall?
Yeah. So it's really hot under the wall.
No. See the black spot in the middle?
Yeah.
It's the plant.
Oh,
It took me a while to figure that out.
all right.
I'm bored. We have 2.5 hours of this yet.
Mm-hmm. In different locations, though.
That means, what does it mean, ball?
What's the blue windows look like? Nothing. You got the easy one. You got staff. Turn the volume down and
I
do
got,
nothing.
I got schoolhouse. I got doctor. I got healthcare. I got 77, 50. I got Bible and thankful.
Really?
Yeah.
I got like blue and red.
Remind me of what yours does again.
It's basically FM. I mean, like if you.
Oh yeah,
hear,
no, I have the same. Mine's just
Yeah.
going through. I think yours is recording.
I
or maybe-
guess.
Okay.
Did you get anything?
Just a couple words that he wrote on a notebook, and he'll probably share if there's any sort of connection. Just like yeah, because it's mostly just muffled, but every once in a while where it lands, I might catch a phrase.
Yeah, and sometimes like
Oh,
the phrase
there's
is
an
like
airplane. I
muffled.
better look
Yeah.
at the airplane.
Anything that was clear, I remembered and told him. There were like 3 different things. Nothing that seemed to connect, but maybe he knows more than me, or everyone else knows more. That's so interesting. That's cool.
It's heavy.
It's heavy. Getting your wrist workout. I get how it would be cool to like teach the person next to you how to use your tool and swap, you know, but
All right,
I
want to see
think we're
something
doing
cool?
his research project for him.
Here, watch this.
yeah, except it works.
There's wall.
He's getting paid for us to do it.
Here, watch this. There's wall, 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 dark spot.
Oh yeah, because of that plant.
Yeah.
All right. How are we
Freaked
doing
me
on
out
your
for a
guys'
while.
Oh, I bet.
Liz, how's yours coming? Have you heard anything?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
50. Schoolhouse,
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
doctor, healthcare, thankful, and Bible. Did you get any of those?
Yeah, he's writing it down. That's so good. I didn't get any of those words, no.
I got red and blue.
Nice. So with yours, Barrett, just so you know, I don't always follow up in real time because it is small. I put them up on YouTube so you guys can watch them on your TV sets, but I watch them on a large computer screen. So if it's not that I'm not communicating with you and I'm picking on the ladies all the time, it's because their stuff is real time. Yours, I can watch on a video later on. So,
And your ladies.
I'm not stupid. But it's good that you're picking up on things because that particular spirit box is not easy to use. It's a weird one. It's just so you know.
There's definitely words that are like then start and then get muffled out. And so I miss those.
I will tell you it's weird because you actually have a lot of clues relevant to our next information,
Okay.
which is odd because we don't normally get those. Yeah, and the fact that they all came to you, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to be talking about a doctor who is 100%. We get double sevens over there all the time. That's 77.
Yeah. And they actually came through as 77. They would say
77.
Yeah.
What's funny is like you would normally get a 7 and then Katie would get a 7.
Yeah.
So it's not always the same person, but they all came to you. You're the only one with clues around this person so far. So we're going to see what happens as we kind of move through the rest of it.
Maybe a little more like open-minded.
It's just weird that we're getting it this far away because we're about a block and a half away from where that actually occurs and where we're going next. So
You think the spirits like stay in it?
Not necessarily. Yeah, we're going to talk about that 2 stops from now. Okay. Again, I talk about a lot of theory. So
Yeah,
I'm sure going to answer a lot of your
cool.
guys' questions. So let me follow up with the gents over here.
Where are you guys from?
Cincy, originally from Pittsburgh, but we've been down here almost 10 years.
Cool. Nice. You? Michigan. I live in Michigan.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's snowing there.
Oh my God, it is. It is snowing. I'm so glad not to be there right now.
We saw the game going on. We're like, oh.
I know.
That's
It's,
rough.
it's a long winter season, and it was kind of a rough October because normally Octobers have like some decent amount of sunny days. This October was like 2 days were sunny.
Now, Michigan's a big state.
You're right. I'm in the northern part of the lower peninsula.
All right, so you're not up in the little top
Upper
piece.
peninsula.
No.
We call that Wisconsin. But it's
Fair
Michigan. I know, right? Like, why is that not Wisconsin? We'll take it. It's gorgeous up there. If you've never been to that area, it's worth going in the
Well,
summer.
yeah,
We
you
keep
can go,
saying we're going to go
you
to
know,
Mackinac.
Oh, yeah.
Summer, you know.
I like
July
Mackinac.
and
first to the
May,
third.
May.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to be careful you don't get into black fly season.
All right. I think the best time to go to the Upper Peninsula is after July. So not June. And the water's warmer anyway later in the summer.
It gets all the way up to like 66 degrees.
So it's not Maine weather, but I mean.
You have to wait. You have to swim on the side where the sun's been on the rocks all. I lived in Maine. That's actually a thing.
Okay, yeah. I have a group of friends that we open water swim.
All right, guys, let's head back to where we
They're,
started. Let's chat about what we got going on here.
They've been finding jellyfish in the lakes up in
man.
northern Michigan. Little baby jellyfish, yeah.
I didn't know.
Who knew there were
Freshwater
freshwater
jellyfish.
But I had friends that are like, they're wet, they've got these like thick wetsuits and neoprene caps, and they're swimming still. They're probably about done.
All right, so where's Linda? Wait a minute, she's the first one I always follow up with here. We're going to group in a little bit further just in case a car flies in, just so you know, because there's only one entrance and exit to this location. If you have a camera, by all means, give your hands a break. Brian, definitely get us on. So, basically.
I think so.
All right, who's next? Okay.
I heard the word sound.
Just right here. So that might be interesting on Monica's end of things because she may have missed something in real time where I need to check where the sound came from. So interesting piece for sure. Anything being spelled out for you back there, John?
Mandatory.
All right. Ask her if anybody's name during that round. All right. Good deal. So we are going to huddle around a little bit further. Video cameras. I do want you to try to get a view shot of one way or the other. Doesn't necessarily need to be in us. It includes you there, so there's enough foliage in here so we can get the heat cold. So in case of anomaly comes through. All right, so let's talk about why we're here. So Eric, go ahead and hit that start button. You can get some footage already. Yes? You were recording earlier. I seen it blinking. So you can hit that record button. Yeah, I can see it because it'll blink on my end. Check. Oh, so you guys gave me a run, right? Alright, so remember EMFs at 7 and above, and then for Ian, you're going to be the yellow and above. So kind of keep that one. Alright, so every ghost story comes down here. That's exactly why this is the space that's taking out this year. So tomorrow this will be much more less and less for the next 2 months. Until January, where it will no longer exist. So yeah, it takes about 2 months with groups to be able to find that new space and make sure that it's going to be a free full location for us. So that's why this will be the free show that's being taken out. And if you take another ghost story here in Carlson before you call it big. I'm going to give you the same story that everybody gives, but I'm going to give you more details because you're ghost hunting. You're not on a campfire month. Here's how it goes. The doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. John, you're going to be looking for the letters R-I specifically on your Ouija board back there. The reason why it's Rhode Island. Now, he moves down here. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. For those of you that are listening to the Spirit Box in here, if you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl, it is not coincidence. We get it all the time because it's part of the doctor's name. So keep that in mind. He moves here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancee, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. So he has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. He tells Amanda to go with the doctor. Ladd comes down here to Charleston to prove that he's not after Amanda's cash. So on his way into town, the coachman that run it set him up to do Rodney Feeling. It wasn't a very good start. This very good Boston. Kind of having a really bad Uber driver. But because he's going to kill him, right? Bad Uber driver. But somebody was walking by. And I'm going to stop there for a second because the person walking by and seeing what was about to happen, his name was Ralph Isaacs. He has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Ralph Isaacs, Rhode Island. So I will tell you that the reason why I have the device that John is using is because of this location. I was getting the letters RI on regular spirit boxes, and I wanted to make sure we had the concrete and I wasn't mishearing it the several times that I did hear it over the years I've been coming. So I've gotten RI about half a dozen times, and I've written up Ralph. Now, back to Ralph and the doctor. Ralph told Dr. Ladd, dude, I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me to 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from friends of mine. They'll help you out. You say it. Here you go. Doc took him up on the offer, and the two gents became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after the man's cash. She gets wind of this, and she's moving down so they can be married. Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. He's a pretty happy guy. What I'm going to tell you is that every haunted city you will ever visit in the future has a cliched whistling ghost. Ours just happens to be a doctor. So we're going to talk about those whistles in just a minute, but back to Ralph and Dr. Ladd. They go see plays together. They cannot sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. One night they go see Richard III, and on the way home they're arguing over the new actress. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph did not. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiance, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It got pretty ugly. They go their separate ways. I told you Ralph has friends. He goes to the newspaper and puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a you're a disgrace to society kind of mentality. The doctor saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. That's where you're standing. Dueler's Alley. So, that's what it used to be called. It's called Philadelphia Alley now, but it used to be called Dueler's Alley. So they came down here, they took their 10 paces away from each other, they turned, and the doctor points his gun in the air. Shot his one bullet. He did not want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage to show up to the fight. But Ralph has his one bullet, puts it in the kneecap of the doctor. Dr. Ladd didn't die, but he dropped to the ground. Now, the person walking by, we want to watch our filming. I don't know how far they're going to come up here, just so you guys know. But anyway, so the doctor fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later on November 2nd, 1786. That is just 2 days away from here. Now, I will also point out he refused medical treatment. Why? First off, in 1786, gunshot wounds are a lot different back then than they are now. And he's a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself. So, he failed because he died. So, yeah, he didn't have a pass with a fail like the rest of us did earlier. He just actually died. So, I will tell you that every tour that comes down here will tell you to listen to the whistles. We're running 3 video cameras and 2 voice recorders. We're going to find a whistle that's going to be one of those 5 minutes. So, we're going to let they always break the pups.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife is trying to do that. So it's always about the end. Always about the end. Back when he's whistling this thing, and he's going to pass me. There we go. Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Come on, Augie. Come on. Augie. Augie, come on.
Now, every tour will tell you to listen for those whistles because it is always this quiet down here. Even on a busy Saturday afternoon, it's always this quiet. However, I will tell you that we will capture those other pieces, like I said, on the voice recordings and audio pieces, but your spirit boxes that you're listening to, especially when it's recording, I can't tell you how many times you've had the whistling part of the song and then the word doctor on a commercial right thereafter. Again, not a coincidence since I get it here all the time. What I will tell you is that Liz actually had the word doctor and healthcare that showed up when we were back at Pinckney Mansion site, along with the doctor's birthday. She heard 7-7 directly. The doctor's birthday is July 7th. So we do get double 7s all the time. It's usually from 2 different people, but all of the doctor terms went to Liz. So again, she didn't know where we were going. She didn't know what was going to be happening. So you can kind of see where I look at this and go, why did that happen? That's where I was a little confused because this is a little too far a bleed over from that kind of location. Now, I will tell you that if you're going to try this on your own and turn on the voice recorders and walk all the way through the alley, I can't take you all the way through. I'll explain here in just a minute because I've actually been kicked out of here. That's the fun part of the story. But keep in mind, if you're going to do it on your own and you hear something in the background, that every local knows the story. So anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street is going to throw a whistle down the alley. I used to do it every single morning when I was done with your dad. My office is over here, but my old parking garage is that way. So I had to pass by the alley at like 4 in the morning. So I'd always throw a whistle, you know, as I kind of walked by, just for shits and giggles. Let's talk about how I got kicked out of here. That's the fun part, right? That's the reason I also like to pause when people are walking through, because again, it's part of from one of the neighbors. So let's talk about that. This alley didn't go all the way through from the way we came in. There was a wall up there. The reason why is because before this was Dueler's Alley. It used to be called Cow Alley. This is where they kept some of the livestock in the city of Charleston. If you get the word cow, meat, all kinds of things will show up on your spirit boxes at this point. But anyway, so imagine all these cows and chickens down here, but that means that the bricks on the other side down by Queen Street are older than the ones you're standing on. Those were sun-dried bricks from slave trading. There was a full handprint from a slave child down there, and fingerprint swipes in others. And I used to take my groups all the way through just for a history piece. Nothing paranormal, because I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. That's the last place you're going to find that kid, right? Because again, he's not going to stare at the brick that he slaved over. He's going to be at home with his mom or something. So, November 26th of 2020, I had my entire group of 10 people, and I took them all the way through. And I'm trying to shoo them along. They're all waiting around that brick, waiting for something to happen with all the gear I just handed out. I know nothing's going to happen. I'm also trying to be respectful to the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley, the broadside of his kitchen window. He was not happy about that. He came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because her dad's getting yelled at, and she thought it was hysterical. So we kind of moved on. We just went on our merry way and finished the tour, and the next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on Thanksgiving simply because I work for the biggest retailer you can think of for many, many years in upper management, and you guys like to fight on towels over towels on Thanksgiving. So I don't work on Thanksgiving anymore. So again, I own my own company. I don't have to. So the next day was the 28th. Yes, the dates are relevant. I'm going to get to it. I called my partner that I had at the time. I told him what happened. He laughed at me just like my daughter did. And he said, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway. You got to reroute the group. So it's Black Friday. I'm sold out again. I take my team of 10 and I tell them, this piece I just already told you about the duel, but I told them we got to reroute, but I don't believe in the next story because I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. Obviously, we're discussing pirates next, if you have to pick up on that. But before we left, somebody in the spirit box, actually, here's the name Anne. I did not tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. Again, going directly across the street behind me. A famous female pirate, Anne Bonnet. So I was kind of like, okay, shit, maybe we're going to get something. We get over there, I told them a little bit I did know about piracy, which wasn't much. And somebody else here is the number 300 coming out of their spirit box. I write it down because I don't know what it means. I'm going to look it up when I get back to the office. I looked it up. We were there on November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonnet's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial. Some of you I see you nodding your heads going, that's kind of cool stuff. I was pissed, let me tell you what. I have a master's degree in creative writing, and all of my other degrees are all in writing. So I write fiction and nonfiction. Especially when I'm doing paranormal investigations, I need facts and data. Pirate stories come from pirate lore, which were written 100 years after these alleged occurrences of when pirates were running about through the Golden Age, right? So, you know how many books I've had to read on pirates? There's been dozens and dozens of books on pirates, video games, documentaries, movies, you name it. I have watched, read, and played anything with pirates in it to make sure what we're about to discuss is at least coming from 2 different resources, and they're not coming from video games, just so you know. So, all about the books. So, where we're going, it's a 50-50 shot that Anne will be there, because again, ghost hunting is never an exact science, that's the beauty of it. But when we get over there, it is a fun story for sure. We will be able to spread out like what we did at the Pinckney Mansion site, but remember, you're probably going to get bleed over from this location as well. So the gate before we leave, and I asked you guys what you guys may have seen or heard with your devices while I was giving you all this history. The gate behind me, I want you to remember, I told you the alley didn't go all the way through up this way, right? There was a wall there. So if there was a loser to the duel down this way, this was the shortcut to get to the cemetery on the other side of the wall. Otherwise, they got to drag their dead body, the loser, all the way down to Queen Street and then double back to be able to go drop the body off before they can go celebrate with the winner. So I call this the death gate. Just keep in mind that the wrought iron was probably put here in the early 1900s, but you can see that the archway for the gate was part of the original gate. So I just like to point that out because not a whole lot of people know why this gate is actually here. Obviously, there's a lot of legalities with it, and property lines and that kind of thing, and that's why the wrought iron was put. So, any words or initials that I need to know about, John? Spirit boxes, anything going on? Katie? Liz? Real quick. Linda, last 2 words?
Deliberately grabbed.
Deliberately grabbed. Did anybody get touched while we were here? Okay. Any numbers coming out of the 2 of you? Nothing
I
about
did have one by
how high?
6.9.
6.9. So again, I expect anything above that 7. So and the fact that Diana didn't get any of it, it's kind of true telling. You're on the same unit of measure. So Monica, did you hear any strange voices that you know of? Any whistling? This will be really cool when you guys go back to that recording, so when you guys can see if there's any whistles in the background. So she'll probably be the one to best pick it up, to be honest with you. Gina, anything coming out of yours? And of course, Ryan was on mute this entire time. With that said, are you guys ready to learn about some rated R pirates? Yep, I figured as much. I talked quite a bit. So let's get. By the way, this weather dropped dramatically. Like I didn't know if I should wear long sleeves or not tonight. So I originally had my Ghost Hunter T-shirt on, and I was like, this will be my costume for the night. And then I was like, nope, gonna need my damn hoodie. All right, let's go learn about these crazy pirates. Barry, all right? Is this really getting late for you? Like you got quiet all of a sudden. I'm worried.
Yes.
Okay. I love him. Can I take him home?
Really? Is it that kind of tour?
What did you hear?
333. Yes.
Discovery 333. Anybody else got anything? Wow, nothing?
627, just right now.
As in like June 27th. Interesting. So I don't know that that's a relevant thing.
Yeah.
That's how I'm just showing you guys like how I look at these numbers. I love how Monica is laser focused, by the way. It's almost like she's ignoring all of us all
exactly.
night long. I love it. So this space can be, I guess, busy with other tours. That's why I bring us to the back. And if they're going to cut through here, if you have a camera, if you don't have it on record, by all means, hit those record buttons. Oh, that's Jackie. She'll be here for a minute. She'll rub on all of your legs, just so you know. So, especially if you have dogs. They would see like she goes to people with dogs. It's funny. And that used to be Jack until I seen that she was pregnant, so I renamed her to Jack. I think she actually belongs to us. So again, you see a lot of cats, but Jackie shows up all the time. She loves it over here. So again, now all the attention is on Jackie and not me. I love it. It's okay. Happy Halloween, everybody. Too bad she's not black. So, been perfect. every tour comes through here, but they talk about the powder magazine. We're going to be doing that too, but we're going to be looking at it in a much different light. So that is the gunpowder magazine, which held gunpowder for 7 different wars. So those are not crosses on the building, just so you guys know. Those are earthquake bolts. If you're not familiar with earthquake bolts, they're basically turnbuckles. If you have another earthquake, like what I mentioned in 1886, you can turn the turnbuckles and it'll tighten the building up so it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea, it just doesn't work. I only bring them up is because that's part of the reason why we're here, is because those are the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in, because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. We're here simply because Anne would recognize this building because it's from her era. It was being constructed at the same time she came here to start her new life. This is what I call familiar. It seems like everybody here watches the ghost hunting TV shows of some capacity. You guys have seen that Boo Buddy, which is the teddy bear with the K2 meter in it, like that Ian has. They use that so the child would recognize a toy. Take that mentality and put it on this building for Anne Bonny. We don't have many buildings this old. This is something she would recognize. Hence why it's a 50-50 roll of the dice if she'll even be here. So let's get into the history of Anne, and it starts right in the middle of its construction. The building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government? Small building? But anyway, 1708. Try to follow me here. There's a couple of twists. I will slow down on the twist because this is a kick-ass female pirate, and it can get a little loopy in the head if you're not following along. Now, 1708, a young lady moves here. Her name is Anne Cormack. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Are you guys with me so far? Okay, the 3 of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How pissed was the wife that she kicked him out of the damn country by boat? There's no planes, guys. So be nice to your ladies. They'll kick you up to Canada by plane. So anyway, that was kind of a joke. Don't be laughing. Love it. So I know I'm talking fast at this one because there's a lot of history here, and I try to breeze through it so you guys can get back to work. So Dad and Mom and Ann all land in Georgetown, and that's between us and Myrtle Beach, in case you're not familiar. Dad bought a plantation. Mom dies pretty quickly. That means young Anne is now coming, being sent down here by Dad to sell things from that plantation to keep things afloat. Hence the familiar building. She comes down here alone. So let's go back to Ireland for just a split second. They say Anne was kind of a badass even back in Ireland. When she was 7, 8, 9 years old, remember it's pirate lore, all the stories are different, they say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly. Can't tell you how many times I've had servant, knife, and belly show up on 3 different devices and nobody knows what the other 2 people have. So again, happens all the time. Fast forward, the building's done in 13, but by 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked. Why? She's going to fall in love with one of these pirates so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. It's a man's world during these times. So the first guy she falls in love with, and I said first, by the way, because there's a handful. That's what makes the story so damn interesting. First guy is James Bonny. Dad doesn't approve because he's a filthy pirate. They run away to Jamaica, they get married, and Cormac became Anne Bonny. That's where the name came from, the pirate name. So when she gets down there, she realizes that James, her new husband, is not the Captain Jack Sparrow that she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer, which means he's a spy for the British. He's a coward. This isn't who she wants. She falls in love again. Guy number 2. This is John Rackham, but everybody calls him Calico Jack. That's why I named the cat Jack. Now, Calico Jack is the guy that they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering who this guy actually was. Now, Calico Jack has his own ship. He has his own crew. Anne wants to be part of the crew. Does anybody know why you cannot put a female on a pirate crew? I look at all the wheels spinning, not wanting to say the dirty thoughts that are in your brain. It is bad luck. So it's funny because you all looked at me like, oh shit, is he really asking that question? It is bad luck. So Jack makes a deal with Anne. If you dress like a guy and look like the crew, you can be part of the crew. She's okay with this. Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world. Let's all put 2 and 2 together. You know she's a lady in his quarters, right? So you can't have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl, and that's exactly what happens. So before she starts to show her pregnancy, Jack drops her off in Cuba. And he says, go have the baby in Cuba. These are friends of mine who'll help you out and come back later, and we'll figure it out. She goes and has that baby, but returns with no baby. So keep that in mind. None of my research has ever discovered what happened to the child. You can ask. I just can't prove it if you get a direct answer when you guys are out here working with your communication devices. I know, Jackie. You look exhausted, by the way. It's a haunting night. Back to Anne. She comes back without that baby, but also dressed like a female. This makes Jack pretty pissed off. To make him even more angry, she's going to go flirting with the pirate crew he just captured. They're down below deck. Guy number 3. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy, to be part of the crew the Calico Jack just captured. So now we have 2 females, dressed like males, on the same ship, trying to be pirates. Her name, Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. Her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. We're never going to know for sure because it's of the age of the tale. But the British find out where they are. They send a fleet of ships to come take down one pirate ship. The rumor is that Anne and Mary were the only two pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with one-bullet flintlocks. They don't know how to use cannons yet. They haven't been pirates very long. So obviously 2 ladies with 1-bullet guns are not going to do very well against the whole fleet of ships. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, Anne looks at her captain, her beau, Calico Jack, and she says, "I'm sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up a lot for you guys. The judge wants to see the 2 men that fought back so violently on their own. He's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunk pirates. They're dead and gone. So the 2 ladies go in front of the judge. They reveal their gender, hoping to save themselves, and the judge does not give a shit that they are female. They are still pirates. He is still going to hang them. So they scream out, "We plead our bellies," meaning they're claiming to be pregnant. Once again, trying to save themselves. It is illegal to hang a pregnant woman in 1720. He grants the wish, and he sends them both back to jail. Now, Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne, brings her home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4. We're going to count Mary. We don't really know. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Very abrupt ending because we do not know jack squat about her after her pirate career. There are so many speculations. I'm not going to throw rumors out there at you. I'm telling you what we can actually prove. Mary Read died 5 months later in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates die from in a Jamaican jail. Use your imagination. Most books tell you it was something simple like fever. Let's make it romantic. Call it scurvy. I don't give a shit. But we're talking pirates, right? So here's the thing. I'm not going to assign questions at this location. I want you guys to have fun with this one. This is not a prominent English woman where I need to keep in control. I'm just going to tell you a few things I left out of the history so you have something to work with. I did not tell you the name of Anne Bonny's parents. I called them the father and the mistress. Ask what their names are. The name of Calico Jack's ship that Anne joined. I didn't tell you the name of that either. The city where Anne grew up in Ireland. I didn't tell you what that was. And the color of her hair, which I'm sure you can all speculate the cliche of a red-haired, green-eyed Irish woman. You'd be correct. Her hair was red. So I normally give that a question to somebody that's struggling with a spirit box so that way they can grab onto the word red because it's only 1 syllable. So have some fun with this location. Again, 50-50 roll of the dice if she'll be here. I'll see what's going on. So let's spread out, get those spirit boxes up and running, Ryan. So let's have some fun with this. You know I'm just giving you a hard time, right?
No, you're fine. I was having a very difficult time not making woke jokes there.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I get it.
Right?
Totally get it. You're going to see even more of that when I tell you about this space when I wrap it up. Like, this is a weird spot.
Is it really?
It is. It's very weird. But you're absolutely correct. So, again...
I mean, it was tranny, ran into a conservative. Daddy bailed him out. I mean, there's jokes everywhere.
Well, with this whole bit, like, I do a shit ton of research, and I was watching a fictional version of this whole pirate golden age. It was called Black Sails. And my wife used to work from home.
Black Sails.
Yeah, I know, right? So you know what I'm talking about. So my wife comes downstairs because she used to work from home at one point, and I used to wear like headphones, so I wasn't bothering her while she was working upstairs because she was on the phone all the time. And she comes downstairs, and of course, one of those very risque type scenes is on the TV. And she comes down and she taps my shoulder, lifts up my earmuff, and she says, "What you watching, honey?" And I turned around and said, "I'm working, and it's pirate porn. We're gonna have a good time. Sit your ass down." It's been a pirate porn joke around my house ever since. So, but my wife and I are like, we can joke about those things. Like, it does not bother her.
I'm with you. I understand this.
But you know the show. It was amazing.
It was a good show.
It was a very
I've
good
watched
show.
it twice.
I love Calico Jack's character in that, by the way. They could not have picked a better actor to portray his demeanor. So I was very impressed with, some of the casting they did.
What was his name? I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, Charles Vane.
Yeah, Charles Vane. He was a good character.
He was. And Charles
My
Vane,
wife loved Charles Vane.
Of course. They showed him full frontal nudity in that one. I think it was like episode 3 or 4, and I'm like, here we go with the craziness on this one. But Charles Vane depicted in any other thing, that is probably the best portrayal of Charles Vane I've seen. Because I've seen other documentaries and this, that, and the other on pirates, but that was probably the best portrayal of.
I thought they brought Edward Teach in brilliantly as well.
Yeah, and that was kind of like how he kind of slid into things. That's exactly how.
Yeah.
From all the research I've done, that's exactly how it goes. I'm actually playing a video game right now based on this shit. And they did the exact same thing. They slid him in. Like, he just kind of came in and said, "I want to join with this whole thing that's going on." And that was kind of how it went down. And I'm like, wow, that's actually pretty accurate. So I was pretty impressed with the damn video game that I'm playing. I'm like, all right, we'll
That's
take
cool.
it. Yeah.
By the way, in a public space, you're allowed to video record anything you can see
I know.
It's covered by the First Amendment.
I'm aware.
No problems whatsoever. Ever.
I know.
All
But
right.
people get really.
Yeah, people
Jittery.
can get, feelings can get hurt.
They
It's
can.
not against the law.
It's not.
All right, so we're cool.
I'm all about the. How do I put this?
She's so serious.
I know. I love it. Like that's why I chose her for that. Because obviously she showed up just before you guys did, and she became very serious with some of the conversation we had. But with me in the Holy City, like I'm a little like under the radar with this. Believe it or not, I know I made the front page of the newspaper today. That's like the first time like I've been.
Oh, that was actually today?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it
Yeah,
was
that was
today.
today. Like they put it
Hey,
in.
congratulations.
Thanks. But that was like, it made me a little nervous, but at the same time, because again, there's a lot of competition here, and this is the Holy City. There's a lot of like downplay to me not, without them knowing how I portray this and how I look at it, and not bring it into this gory effect of what the Holy City is, and it's all about the history, and we have this and we have that, and respect to it. People are looking at, I'm a ghost hunter, so I'm a TV show guy, and I hate that. Like I hate those personalities from the shows.
You bring it without a doubt. And mind you, I'm just trying to, in case people want to watch this, they see different things.
Mhm.
You bring a different aspect to it, a little bit more factual. Still a little spook there,
Just
which
enough.
is just a little. Mind you, this is my 4th tour this week,
I'm sure.
and I'm
I hear that all the time.
yeah. And
And let me guess, you guys
I'm-
are leaving tomorrow? Because this is normally the last thing people do.
no, I live.
They like-
I live in Santee. I
Oh,
drove down.
that's right. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's just, our guess is we do Halloween with her all the time. It's just a similar lady that likes Halloween. So
Mhm.
we go. We did Salem, New Orleans, Savannah, and what other? Except urban shit works. But
I actually have to move to New Orleans in a few years, but go ahead.
it's a fabulous town.
I think I'll be a little bit more welcomed.
Without a question, dangerous as hell.
I heard.
It is. It
I'm
really
aware.
is.
It can,
If you ask my wife, I don't understand danger because I'm 6'1" and 250. And there's a lot of truth to that.
I'm 5'10", 140. So
Right.
yeah, I carry a blade with me just because I'm here late at night.
Didn't know where we were going, so otherwise I'd have a gun on me. But neither here nor there. Mind you, I've carried a gun for 35 years and I've never pulled it out.
What do you do for a living?
I'm retired.
Okay, what did you do?
I was an operations manager, project manager for a major healthcare company. I
Okay.
ran Obamacare for Pennsylvania.
Okay, got it.
That's
Just with your
Groundhog
talk
Day.
of like knowing the laws about filming, that kind of thing, I'm like, maybe he was in law enforcement. Carried a gun.
No, well, no.
I'm just curious.
I absolutely love this country. The Constitution fascinates me that they could, do this 200 years ago, and it's still relevant as a living document. How smart were those people?
I know.
It's just amazing. It absolutely,
It's part of the reason why I do what I do.
and that's not random. There's more to that than
There's
just
a whole-
people.
Yeah, there is.
Like, I'm not a religious guy, but I'm spiritual. There's no way that you can tell me that our moon is the exact size of the sun when it comes across. And once every 80 years, that we're going to see a complete blackout in the sky. That's just not random. It's a little more than
No
random.
such thing as coincidence to me. Remember that.
Rule number 4. Jeff Gibbs, NCIS.
Oh yeah. You're shit. But that's always something I've said. I'm gonna start following up with what these other folks.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could probably
go
talk
play.
all
Yeah, go play.
night. Play. I'm working.
Yeah, that's right. Work. Report back. Your birthday and my birthday.
Why?
Why not?
Because I got a whole bunch of stuff and I'm having a hard time remembering it all.
Oh, all right. I informed him that you can record anything you can see in the public, and there's nothing wrong with doing it. He goes, I know. I said, well, why do you keep telling people not to record? Because people get upset. I was like, fuck the people's feelings.
Yeah, that.
It's just not worth the extra.
It's just hassle. Linda's having fun now.
She is.
And the girl behind Linda is like so into this. I think he gave me this because he knew. But I'll bet you $100 he'd find something in this.
Probably.
What's up? What do you see?
Nothing. I'm just recording. I mean, it all looks the same.
Yeah, it does. Everything's red. Very definitely warm here. Right?
You get changes. You get fluctuations. You see that thing up high?
Yeah.
You get,
That thing right there.
yeah. That's dropping like 20 degrees. But anything that's ground level, there's something there that's, you know, not that interesting. What you get?
Not too much. It's kind of cool though when you look at the words and you try to cite fear nearby organic monkey thing. I'm like, is there blacks around?
Did you click them or
No.
this is what
They
came
come
up?
Produce console jazz want suspect.
Add in something funny.
No, you can't. It just
Why not?
It adds. You don't
He
type
doesn't
it
know.
in.
He doesn't know what you're saying.
You type. You don't type.
Let's add in
You can't.
pedophile.
You can't. It doesn't do it. It just
When he asks you, you can add anything you like.
territory. Suspect territory. So I always try to think like, how can I put this all together? Jazz want suspect territory. Huh. I like to hear that for some reason. Right there, and if I go over, it's like there.
Well, let's go over there. Let's see what's up. I can record while you go.
Yeah, look how nuts it's like. Look at it; it just like goes nuts. Connor.
Oh, we got stuff, man.
And yes, I am
It
working.
likes it right here for some reason.
Monkey.
But look at that. Ooh, this went fast. Fear nearby.
It's still pretty vague though. It's nothing specific like the name Connor. I don't know who the hell Connor is.
No, neither do I. Or Jess or Sandra. They came up quick. So. Oh.
You can't see the lean and the steeple from here.
I just got husband.
Husband. All right, let me see
Wife.
what these two have. Ryan.
What did you hear? Good. Anything?
I got trader, die tonight, husband.
Trader died tonight. Husband.
Hi, I got 864. I think that was the
Okay.
yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. I was like, you never get your phone.
You know what? If you don't have fun, it's not worth doing.
Okay.
Right, Boo? The Boo people.
You getting anything on there?
I don't fucking know. I'm here because I got drugged here.
I love this stuff. Whoa. I believe it. You can't possibly.
Which alligator one is that?
Well, we're from North Carolina. We got little alligators. Where you from?
Santee, middle of the state.
Oh, well, okay. All right, yeah. So we've got a
We're about
alligator
to-
river, which is close to our Outer Banks. If you're familiar with Mag's Head.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so it's sort of, some marshy area before you get to the Outer Banks, actual islands out there.
We had
It's
a,
beautiful.
and mind you, this is probably a bad story, but we had a 14-foot, 850-pound gator harvested this year on our lake.
Jesus God.
Yeah.
On your lake where you're at.
Yeah. I mean, it's Moultrie. It's a big lake. But yeah, that's a big gator.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad. I'm like, that thing's got to be 80 years old, right? Maybe 100.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind hunting. I don't. So I'm like, it's an old gator.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They should put some kind of limits on something like that.
I
you know?
guess.
A
There's
little
another
mercy,
one there.
But
There's
then
another
again,
one out
I don't
there.
think he's going to show you mercy if you're anywhere
You know what
close.
gators don't want to be bothered with?
Yeah, we.
Don't walk your dog in front of it.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me in one of these tours today. Was that they generally won't mess with you unless you have animals with you or something.
They know
become
their place.
aggressive.
It's not like a snake.
Mm.
You know, you step near a snake, it's going to bite you. Gator's like, go away.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just we got a little bit of land and I allow some people to hunt on it. I'm not a hunter.
I was. I'm no longer. I don't have the heart for it anymore.
Yeah, I just I don't enjoy venison. So I mean, now,
Actually,
yeah, rabbit or something. Yeah, okay.
I used to. I went big game hunting, got a couple deer, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like cleaning them, and I really don't like venison. Yeah, bunny rabbits taste good.
Yeah, I can do rabbit. But,
You know, squirrels aren't worth eating. Pheasants are good.
oh my
Doves
God,
are
love
great,
pheasant.
but you got to shoot a dozen of them to make a meal. They're not worth the effort. It's like bluegill. Bluegill aren't worth the effort. Tastes good.
I've never had bluegill.
Oh, good fish to eat. Good eat. But you got to do, I mean, it takes, 10 of them to make a sandwich.
I think I'm going to rein everybody in.
Yeah, but this guy, he calls me this morning.
Small everybody up.
He
See what else
says,
is going
hey,
on.
John,
So,
by the
you
way.
guys are taking off hoods and hats and throwing me all off. Let's get over to the wall. Let's kind of see what we got going on.
Oh, okay. And he was telling me that he caught a couple of bear on game cameras he had out there. He said, did you know you've got bear out here? I said, no, I do not. You did
Bears don't want to be bothered either.
Yeah.
You know what? We were just
As long
up
as you
in,
don't have beehives in it.
we were just up in Tennessee. What is not
Johnson City, Nashville.
not Nashville, the little town with the music and up in the hills. They'll come. Goddamn
Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg. Bears are middle of the day. Bears walking across cars.
When they actually make covers,
I have a thing. I don't know.
Don King hats
I
you
have
can put on there and
a
kind of
damn
mix it up.
animal magazine. As soon as we get on our bikes, so within 5 minutes, something will be a bird or something. We'll just run down to them. I've never seen it.
What do you read?
I've got a soft tail.
All right, so let's kind of cover the answers to this location. We did give them 11.
I had one of those. Well, mine was the Glide.
Okay, yeah.
12 on there though.
That's just, I know that sounds like, oh, you just heard a 1-800 number from a commercial.
My whole life, I was like, I gotta get on
And
Hurley.
it stopped right
I
there.
did that for a year.
Right?
I'm
'Cause
like,
that's all you told me.
not a Hurley guy.
There is a piece of history, by the way, cameras. You can stop them and give them a break.
I'm
so
too
kind of
impulsive.
give your hands a break too, so that we
I
don't
mean, my
pull in a
brother,
specific way.
so he was
So,
You want to hear this piece, Jeff? You heard it.
yeah. Every ghost tour stops across the street as their big finale. The reason why is there's a sign right inside that cemetery that says there's no ghost here but the Holy Ghost. Here's the story why. And it's because every ghost tour, that's their finale because they have something to show. Here's how it goes. 1888, a young lady passes away named Sue Howard Hardy. She passes away, and by the way, what are Sue's initials? Anybody want to do that cheesy campy thing? SHH? We have been shushed on spirit boxes, and we've gotten her initials on the Ouija board and on the digital word list from Linda. So again, take that for what it's worth. And it is SHH at this location. She dies 6 days after her stillborn child. Very sad story. 99 years later, local photographers putting a book together, taking photographs, and he actually captures a full
Thing done, not heart. What's my then?
No, it's because it's private. That's why you have to know.
The noise, hurt, ascend. Kennedy.
Mouse, deuce, Nixon, snorkel. You look very official with that.
Thank you. As do you.
No, I don't. But thank you anyways.
Okay, where you at? Right here. Ah, perfect. Have a seat. You're going to be using this. So I'm going to hand you guys the gear that we're going to be using. The only thing I'm going to ask is you don't put it on until we come back. So the rest of us are going to go over to that bust, and I'm going to give them the history, and then we're going to come back. So that way they can know what's going on with you guys. You guys just won't know. So that's the whole point. So I'm going to be leaving a set of noise canceling headphones next to you. So somebody you came with will be putting that on you. Okay. And then I'm going to be giving you a disposable blindfold. It's kind of like a little origami project you can work on while we're gone. So I know, right? If you can't figure it out, it's no big deal. I bring a whole stack of them. And again, I'll be really impressed if you actually figure it out. So I will be giving you guys a few tips and tricks when we come back so you know what to expect. Just because, again, I'm going to be keeping you guys under for a certain amount of time. It's the only part of our night that I actually do mine. So, yeah, it can be very disorienting. You got it. You guys can just sit here and be besties for a few minutes.
Nice.
All right, let's go learn some quick history, guys. This is going to take like 3 to 5 minutes. Perfect.
We won't know.
It's been nice knowing you.
Yeah, I know exactly right. These are really ghost goggles or something.
Yeah, right.
Once you guys have things on, I won't be further than 5 feet away.
Thanks.
I'll take care of stuff.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
And I say interaction like, hey dude, is it okay if I read some of your work? Raise your right hand. And he raised his right hand. So that's why I had that camera. Alright, so first time I came in here, I've only come in here for a year. So this was the new space that I researched while I gave the Pinckney Mansion site a break. And I only had 2 people because it was cold. And everybody like canceled. Like you guys are all bitching that it's cold out here. Like I'm like, yeah, it's chilly, but I'm still comfortable. But anyway, so the young lady listening to a spirit box, here is the year 1828 and the name Henry. I'm using the digital word list that Linda has because I always like to have a backup, and I have the name Tim on it. Behind me is a bust of Henry Timrod, born in 1828. So it's like a hot damn, there's my ghost, right? Here's a quick story on him and what you guys need to know before we get over there. Being born in 1828, some of you know first off, he was a writer, sick for most of his life. So that's a big deal. Being born in that time, he's old enough to go fight in the Civil War. So he goes out to the battlefield to go fight for the Confederates, and his comrades realize he's too sick to fight. So they sent him home, and they said, go be the voice of the war. They wanted him to write about what was going on in the battlefield. He came home to Charleston and started writing poetry about what's going on out there. He became known as the laureate of the Confederates. It's a pretty big title for him. A couple years go by, he has a son. His son is born on Christmas Eve, so dies 9 months later on October 23rd. So obviously that's a week ago. That's important. October is very honored to try to make contact with the gentleman because he also died in October. So obviously it's very practical. So a couple more years go by, his other friend from college realized he's not writing as much. He's another writer. His name is Paul Hamilton. He says, go use my hobby and get back on track. Leave your life behind with the parents, the mornings, and get back to work. So he goes out there, he wrote his last words. His last words were, beholder of brief mortality. Means be a person with a short life. And he taught. And he landed on the page in a bloodstone. So, just pass before a little bit down. So, he had tuberculosis, which is exactly how he passed away. He died right there on the page. Now, you're all thinking, okay, look, he died of tuberculosis and there's a blood stain on his work. That blood stain looks like a man writing at his desk. They show this one day a year on Halloween. They showed it today. However, you got to be a member of the Charleston Library Society to be able to go see it because that's where his collection is being held. The internet's beautiful. I'm going to show you this blood book, and then we're going to go talk to Liz as if she's Henry Timrod, and Katie's hopefully going to be giving us images that are going to be complementing that conversation. as we are over there, we are going to stay pretty close to them, just so you know. Reason why is I don't like the other tourists to see that I'm blindfolding my guests in the middle of a dark park. Especially, that's why I told the ladies, don't put your stuff on. So your blood stain is right here. You can see now how it looks like a man writing at his desk. So I'll zoom in a little bit. Yes, exactly. This is a very big deal for this city. Like, everybody knows who Henry Timmer is, because that's kind of a big deal for us. Now, with that, we have gotten EMF in this location. So Diana and Carlos, you guys are going to be really paying attention. We have gotten triple digits in this location. So 167 during this whole session. Other spirit boxes, word list, Ouija board people, all pay attention to your devices. The reason why is because if we're not getting an answer out of Liz, it's going to come up in one of your devices. I'm hoping, honestly, it's going to come up more so for Monica, so that way I can hear it back as an actual voice from Henry Timmer. Like, that's going to be the point of why we're here doing this with her. Filming, as far as that goes, Eric, you're going to stay focused just on them because you're going to have probably the best footage. The other two cameras, feel free to film whatever you want to. That's kind of how this goes. Just keep in mind the other tours walking around. Just be kind of cognizant of that. But yeah, we are going to stay in a pretty tight circle. When I start packing up all of the gear, because this will be our last session together, I am going to send Carlos and Diana around and kind of hit the hot spots around here to kind of see if you get any other readings that we may have missed since we came in. So before we leave the space, Linda, what are the last two words that you have, just so I kind of know what track we're on?
Chief and final.
Final chief. Yeah, it makes a whole lot of nothing for me. All right, let's go talk to a ghost. You guys ready? I love doing this part, dude. This is so much fun.
All right.
Figure out your board dummy project? Yeah.
I don't know. Is it this way?
Nope.
So then no, I didn't.
It's okay. I
I was like, that's a really little head.
Right? I figured that there were going to be both men and women doing this, and I didn't want to mess up the lady's hair, so I had these open up so they're a Batman mask. So instead of going all the way around her head, yes, I'm very considerate. I have 2 daughters and an ex-wife and a new wife, so yes, I've lived with females my entire life. So here's how this is going to go down. I'm going to put my phone in, and you're going to start to see images. They're going to be 2D, nothing 3D in your face. You're just going to be very brief in your description because she's not going to hear us. So you're going to be talking over her basically. Okay. So if you said 2 ladies bench tree, keep it that simple. 2 ladies bench tree. If she's not talking much, I'm actually going to give probing questions like, give me the time era. What is this person wearing? Something specific. Okay. So kind of keep that in mind. With your end, you're going to tell me literally everything you can. So you're going to have a couple of, pick a family member that's going to help you, that's going to do the hand cues. Whichever. Sure. Whichever. Okay, so Bear, with this, you're going to kind of be part of this as well.
All right.
When we're done, because you're not going to be able to hear us, I want to keep you guys under for 10 minutes, because this can be very disorienting. So he's going to tap you on the leg when we're done. That means we're done, you take off your own gear. Okay? If anything goes wrong, because again, I've had people hyperventilate with this whole situation, he's going to help you take all your gear off. Okay, is that fair? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're speaking, not all the gear off. In the event that you're speaking too loud, because we do have neighbors, you're going to have noise-canceling headphones on. He's going to tap you on the shoulder, so we have to do that pretty hard since she has a jacket on. If we can't hear you, he may lift up that earmuff and just say the word louder. Keep it nice and simple. Even tell me the yes/no answers that you're hearing. You don't know what questions I'm asking. So again, that's the whole point of this. Tell me everything you hear. So I'll time things like once you get things up and started. And Barry, you're going to have to help her put those noise-canceling headphones on because she's going to be blindfolded and she won't be able to see. So the minute you start, so yes, it's blindfold, earbuds, then noise-canceling headphones. Have you ever used virtual reality before? Perfect. So I'll set it up for you. You're going to see gray smoke to begin with.
Ready?
To work out like where it's super silly, where she's basically going to be telling us a bunch of things that are just hysterical, or I'm already getting an image. Wow, man, holy cow, that's the image that's popping up, everybody. We have Christ on the cross. That's pretty serious. As the church bells are going off. So again, I can't make this stuff up. It is what it is. So yours, you're going to see gray smoke, so you won't fall asleep. It's going to be like rolling Cuban cigar smoke. So once this gets started, I'll slide it in there. You do have a focus right here, so if you can't see and it's a little blurry, just turn the focus. Okay. Cool. So it just takes a second. Liz hasn't said a word yet. Sarah might actually have you remind her to talk to us. Just lift up her earmuffs and have her tell us everything.
Tell us everything.
Smile, Buteras. Buteras.
tell us everything you say.
Okay. You're so animated. All of my pictures of you are like
Electric, RV.
Oh, you're good. We'll line up with you, but once you get this smoke, just focus on this on the other images that you get. I don't know what electric RV means, but we're going to move on. So Henry Timrod, 11:15. We're going to go for 10 minutes like we normally do. Happy Halloween, good sir. And if you are here with us, I want you to start off with telling us about your occupation.
Too late.
No, it's not, sir. What's too late?
I'm seeing a windowed building with pillars.
Okay.
Looks old.
Henry Timrod, you're here. Give us something about your occupation. Let's keep it nice and light tonight. I know this is the end of October. It's kind of a month of mourning for you and your family. I'm trying not to cry too hard here. If you can come through and tell us what you did for an occupation, or give us some kind of tool, show us something that you had to use, that would be great. She's like laser focused too, by the way. Like she hasn't moved an inch.
GIA.
I don't know who that is. Unless it's Gina, like she's trying to spell out your name.
It's mapping.
You do?
Mapping how?
GIA is like how the organization that does land mapping.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Teaching
feel like
me
I'm like underground or somewhere.
Okay.
And there's the black image to my lower right, like a shadow or something, and then something in the distance.
Nobody calls you that.
Okay.
Like a bird or a person or something. Look, maybe walking.
Wow. Is it a bird person? That can happen. That thing gives us really odd images. Okay. We're gonna take
Now
that
it's foggy, so that
back
like
to fun, so it disappeared.
yeah, disappeared.
Okay.
New image coming.
Nope.
Right start.
Did she just say right start?
Yes.
As in, he was a writer? You guys getting my point? I know it's out of context of the way she said it, but we still have the word right.
Internal.
Okay, Henry, we're going to get back to, give us one of the tools that you had to use. What did you do? What did you use for tools as a writer?
I'm seeing a sunny landscape with beautiful architecture. Something that reminds me of Rome, and there's like nice archways and a steeple of sorts.
Henry, none of these really make sense to me until I see them. Can you tell us what Katie's seeing in there? Henry, did I hit a nerve by telling you Katie's name? That's his wife, by the way. Just you guys pick up on that.
Trainer.
Train. Henry, we're going to need a little bit things more to be more specific. So I asked you.
November.
I'm seeing that smoky like transition change
Yeah.
picture. So nothing yet.
Okay. What about November?
Article.
Henry, let's talk about your wife. Can you tell us how you met her?
None.
She was not a nun. Can you tell us how you met your wife? He was her school teacher, just in case anybody's wondering. She was only 16 years old when they met. Henry, can you tell us how you met Katie? It'll give us some verification that you're here with us. Love.
Still no images here.
Yeah, and sometimes we get like one image, sometimes we get 10. We
Okay.
never know. So, patience is the key. Henry, did you bring somebody else here with you? That's a yes/no question, please.
Message brought.
Did you bring
Veterans.
Did you bring somebody else here? I know that you said the word brought, but if you did bring somebody else here with you, who else is it? Give us their first name. How's our word list coming? Linda. We have any names showing up on there? John, nothing on the little Ouija board over there?
105.
We need a name, Henry. Who else did you bring with you? even if you didn't bring them, who else is here with you? Seems like you don't want to really chat with us too heavy tonight. We'll try to communicate with someone else.
Talk. $200.
105 and 200.
Delivery.
Henry, I'd like to know if there's anybody else here besides the 13 folks that I brought with me. I know this is a larger crowd than what I normally bring, but there are no other tours in here. I know you don't like it too loud, and we just had that very loud vehicle drive by. But just let us know if somebody else is here that may want to give a few clues about them. If you're still a little unwilling to talk because it's still October. It's been about 6 minutes, just so everybody kind of has that idea. So we got about 4 minutes to go. Is she always this calm? Henry Timrod. Let's dive.
Two.
Let's dive right into your son, since you don't really want to answer the other questions. Can you tell us what holiday your son was born on?
Hundreds.
Ooh, I'm seeing a woman
107.
with her hands under her chin,
Okay.
looking up. Black, straight hair, brownish straight hair with a part down the middle.
Time era, if you had to guess.
A modern
Contestant.
looking woman.
Okay.
Like tank top, you can see her at one shoulder, and her body doesn't quite look like,
Night out.
can't tell if it's her knees folded up to her chest. She's in a chair, and now she's gone.
Interesting. Henry, I'm not sure that the woman that we just saw in that picture is relevant to you, considering the time era. But I asked you about your son's birthday. Can you tell us what holiday that falls on? I'll take just a number if that's all you can find.
Gods.
What holiday? God's holiday. Henry,
Temperature.
you wrote poetry about your son, which is the only reason why I'm kind of poking the bear on this one. You could give us his name, tell us anything you want us to know about him specifically.
1.
You can tell us how old he was, his birthday, the anniversary of his death was just recently. And Henry, we are running out of time really fast.
3 does it.
I didn't really catch whatever she just said there. I don't know if anybody else did. Uber quiet, just so you guys know. Like, there's nothing going on here. I'm not picking anything up. Monica, do you have anything? No?
I'm seeing somebody wearing black, another smaller figure. The person that's wearing black, their legs and their hand is redder, but the face is whitish yellow. And there's like lights coming
Disney?
in these windows.
Is it a
It's
man
a
or woman?
little bit creepy. You cannot tell. It's like no face really.
Okay. You can't tell by the posture.
Maybe more likely a woman.
Okay. Henry, we are going to wrap this up and leave you alone. I understand like this has been a rough month for you, and I've been really poking the bear, and I brought a much larger crowd than what I normally do. So we're going to say goodnight. Can you say goodnight back to us? Henry, can you say goodnight back to us? I'll take it on any of the boxes these folks are holding. And with that, Kara, go ahead and tap her out. Go ahead and feel that thing off your face, Katie.
You can take it off. Take it off.
That's so interesting. That's fun.
It is fun. This one was really
Went
kind of
fast.
good. How long do you think you were under?
I don't know. Maybe 2-3 minutes?
Most people think that. It's almost the exact answer I get every time. You were under for exactly 10 minutes. So, our conversation was completely irrelevant. Like, nothing happened. You didn't give us silly answers, which sometimes if nothing happens and our ghost wasn't here, then we would at least get
Porn
some
and
silly
orgy kept coming through, and I was like, did that really just happen? Because then I was thinking so long, I was like, well, it's probably not relevant anymore if they're talking about it. I don't know.
kind of, so let's kind of take a look through the images. Don't get up, by the way, because again,
Kind
this
of
could be
modern
disorienting.
woman that came up, but
Yeah.
she wasn't inappropriately dressed.
So
Yeah,
these
I
images
know.
don't like really blow up. They will when you guys get them back. But this is the first one. I don't know if you guys want to huddle around because I want to kind of scroll through them. Katie's already seen them, obviously. So this was our first one. So we'll go this way.
Yeah, let's see if I accidentally describe these correctly.
So this is almost like,
That's the first image, yeah.
well, that was in the first image.
Oh, yeah,
As the
that's right.
church bells were going off. This one actually just looks like an old street. So I don't know if there's something relevant that's here. I get similar pieces like this. Again, I can't really find anything relevant. This almost looks like
This one was like maybe underground.
It is
and
underground
then the
cave.
two shadows. That's what it was like. It was a bird or a person. I couldn't tell. And it kind of looked like it was moving.
yeah, it is an interesting.
All of them are a little. That one was like the lightest, happiest one.